Joining us to talk about all of these issues raised by Trump and more is Joseph Williams. He's a former senior editor at U.S. News and World Report. Welcome back to the show.
Hi, good to see you.
Well, we know that the government shutdown was averted. What did both sides have to compromise on to reach this deal? And what does that say about Trump's first few months in office? What does that tell us?
I think the first lesson is the fact that the chaos agent is back. Basically, the Republicans and the Democrats had a deal. Trump scotched that deal. They had to go back to the bargaining table at the 11th hour, which is something that no member of Congress wants to do, particularly on the eve of the holidays, is face down a government shutdown. Now, in that original spending bill, there were a lot of goodies that the Democrats wanted, including some spending on different programs that they were in favor of. The Republicans had to give those concessions basically to allow, or basically to get the Democrat votes they need to pass that package. But without those votes, Trump demanded a clean bill. He didn't get one thing that he wanted, which was an unconditional raise on the debt limit, which no Republican in Congress, or very few Republicans in Congress, wanted to vote for. And in exchange, Democrats got a clean CR, the government gets funded, and the can gets kicked down the road until March.
Well, we know that everyone has been saying, look, Donald Trump was in office before. We know what to expect. But when we look at what just happened here with the debt ceiling and the relationship he has with the current Congress and what it could look like with a couple of new members in place, what could we see with this relationship at the beginning of his term? I mean, it's just, we see more of the same?
I think we will, although you have to pay attention to a couple of things that happened in the renegotiation of the spending bill. The first is Donald Trump did not get something that he wanted, and it's the Republicans who kept him from getting it. That's a pretty big indicator that there are going to be some spending fights coming down the road that Donald Trump is going to have to negotiate. It's not going to be my way or the highway. A lot of the bluster that he said on the campaign trail, and a lot of what early indicators seem to be that he was going to bring the Republicans in Congress to heel, that's not going to be the case, because these members have to go back to their districts and explain to the voters that chose them why they didn't get certain things or why certain things are being spent on because Donald Trump wants them. Yes, Donald Trump won a lot of those districts, but they aren't going to play well in everything. He's going to get heard, he's going to get told no more times than he may be used to, and that means it's going to be about the art of the deal.
We saw his rally from Arizona on Sunday. Of course, a lot came out of that. Everyone's talking about the Panama Canal comments, Elon Musk's influence, TikTok, the EU tariffs. Are these issues that his supporters really care about, that he tackle right now? Why did he bring this up? Can we see movement on those issues? How realistic is the Panama Canal thing, for example?
Well, there are two schools of thought about the Panama Canal. It is that it's not realistic at all, and that it's impossible. I mean, you're talking about a sovereign government being forced to turn over something that American had given them control back to. That's not going to happen. I mean, it's right up there on par with building the wall and making Mexico pay for it, which again was another pie in the sky proposal that you can't force a sovereign nation to do something unless you've got tanks rolling in their streets. And the second thing is that Panama Canal's been in a lot of trouble, and Trump is probably sending a sign to American shipping and American business that he is standing up for them in addition to trying to make sure that American influence is felt around the world. So he's trying to flex a little bit, but it's a flex that really has no end game here. It's not really realistic for him to do any of those things.
Look, we heard Elon Musk's name come up a lot over the last several days, especially around those, talks on Capitol Hill averting the government shutdown. Now, Trump has denied that Elon Musk is taking over the presidency, but, he had to actually say it because so many people are talking about it. What is happening between Donald Trump and Elon Musk? Are we going to continue to hear Elon Musk come out and give his opinion on policy and what Trump should do and what Congress should do? What does Musk have to gain?
Well, I mean, here again is another situation where it all is not as it appears to be. Anytime you're explaining why something happened, in this case, why Elon Musk is not the co-president, you've already lost the argument, and it becomes an optics thing. So expect Musk to be reined in. Now, Musk has some power of his own in the fact that he's the world's richest man, and he's got a platform that everybody pays attention to. X, formerly Twitter, that's a really big megaphone, and he can say whatever he wants. Now, mind you, there are probably going to be some discussions between Musk and Trump behind closed doors to make sure this doesn't happen again, and that Musk is in fact following Trump's lead rather than the other way around, because that's not a good look for anybody except Elon Musk. And Trump, we all know, has a very big ego and is really about demonstrating that he's in control and making the decisions, calling the shots.
So I want to get your take on some of the key appointments that Trump announced over the weekend, some key players from Silicon Valley with positions in his new administration. What does that say about the tech industry's influence on his administration and going forward? Scott Cooper, this managing partner, to be the head of the Office of Personnel Management, some other folks being mentioned as well for artificial intelligence, senior advisor. What are we going to see here?
We're going to see a lot of tech influence. We're going to see a lot of people talking about how tech and government are going hand in glove. It's going to frighten a lot of civil libertarians. It's going to worry many business people because tech is a really 800-pound gorilla at this point, particularly when it comes to artificial intelligence. We have this really advanced technological skill or technological tool, if you will, that anybody can use, but we really don't know the limits, and it's evolving and getting faster and better all the time. Now, whether or not that's going to be a factor in government, whether it's going to be an arm of government remains to be seen, but a lot of people are worried because the influence of tech in this administration could mean the loss of jobs. It could mean more investment and the rich getting richer, an increase of wealth inequality when you have all these high flyers who are in charge of various parts of government. Now, I don't know exactly how that's going to play out, but certainly we're going to keep a close eye on it because it at least speaks to how Trump is going to govern. And again, he's got probably the most influential tech person right at his elbow, which is Elon Musk. And he's been riding shotgun with Trump ever since the election. So certainly that influence is not going to go anywhere, I don't believe.